All right, I'm going to walk you through day 7. So start by clicking on the link in the PDF, which opens up this project I already made. I want you to click the remix button. Before you do that, be sure you're logged in to your account, and then click remix. And then, probably be great to remix the name, you can leave it scratch 7 and then maybe your name. And then let's just do the green flag and see what happens when the ball just follows the mouse pointer around. And then when it gets there, it kind of flickers. Okay. So let's look at what this code does. I'll zoom it in a little bit. It forever point towards the mouse pointer, move one step, and if touching the mouse pointer, broadcast this message, got it, which currently doesn't do anything, but that's what's happening. Okay, so what I want you to do is we're going to do some things so that things will happen when the broadcast happens. So go to Sensing over here on the left and click on the timer checkbox, and notice this timer appears. And we're going to do something with that. That'll help let you time operations in Scratch. Okay, so then next up, I ask you to go to the variables area and make a list variable. So see right up here is make a variable, down here is make a list. So I'm going to make a list called times. So we're going to store different time values in there. And then I want you to do when I receive got it. That's under events. When I receive got it, I want to go to a random position and I want to add time or timer to times. So we're going to do add, instead of add thing to times, we're going to add timer to times. So now watch, every time the thing touches, it's adding the current time to, so it's just ascending, getting higher and higher. Okay. All right. Step 3 of my instructions, I ask you to change the background to something other than what it was. All right, so there you go. Also in the ball sprite, add a delete all of times at the very top under the green flag. So that's under variables. Delete all of times goes right up here. So when we click the green flag, the times variable empties out. I also want a reset timer block up here at the top. So when we hit the green flag, the timer gets reset. And okay, so that's it for now. Then let's see, I've got my programs sitting on top of each other. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Okay, so next we're going to create 2 new variables, x and average. So we'll go over here. These are regular variables, not lists. So make a variable x and make a variable average, capital A. We don't need x to show on the window, but we'd like average to show on the window. And then after the add timer to times block, so right down here, we want to set average to 0 and we want to set x to 1. All right, and then while we're here, let's do set average to 0 at the very top of our green flag program. So green flag, we're resetting everything. We get delete all of, reset timer, set average to 0. And then down here in the got it block, we're going to a random position, adding timer to times, and then we're getting these variables ready to go for some calculations. So then I ask you to drag over 4 little blocks, the X block, the length of times block, and then under the green operators, we want a greater than block. And then under control, we want repeat until. All right, put them together so the loop runs until X is greater than the length of times. So we're going to do X greater than the length of time and times, and then drag that right in here. So we're going to put this right here. So here's a little loop that's going to do some things. We're basically replicating a 4x in range loop from Python. So now I'm asking you to drag over the average variable, the X variable again, this time item 1 of times, and set average 2, and then under operators, the plus block, which is up here. So that's 5 things. And I want you to put it together. We're going to set average to average plus item X of times. So this is really a complicated way of saying, X equals X plus something. Not really X. Average equals average plus, the next item in the list. Item X, because it'll be item 1, item 2, item 3. And actually, then what we have to drag over is a change X by 1 block. So that's change X by 1. So that way X starts out at 1, and we add the first item of times. And then X is 2, and we add the second item, and so on until so if we run this now, you see it adds up all the numbers. It's not calculating the average yet. It's just adding them up. But yeah, in just one more little calculation, we'll have the average showing the average of all the times. So we're going to get a set. So we're going to say a set average to average divided by the length of times. So dividing is under operators. Set average to, so it's going to be average divided by the length. So average is, under variables, average divided by, and then the length of times is right here. So this is right there. So every time this hits, it adds another time, and then it calculates the average as let's start it over so we can see what's really going on. So we have the number 2.2, and we have the numbers, I guess it touched twice, 5 and 5. So the average of all those things, yeah, looks like it'd be about 4. Now we're about to add like 12, 8. We're not resetting the time, so the time's just getting bigger and bigger. So every time we got it, after we add the timer to times 4, we need to reset the timer. So yeah, that's why the times just weren't working right. So let's start over. Wherever the ball is, there we've got 4 and 3 and 4. So the average should be around 4. Let's go bigger, like 8. Okay, so 8, 4, 3, 4. The average seems like about 5. That seems good. Let's do a couple really quick ones, and the average should get lower. And notice that we're watching the average get calculated, like the numbers are getting all calculated for us. So let's see if all these numbers, I keep doing really short numbers and, all these really small numbers. And so the average kept getting smaller. So 1.6, yeah, the average being about 1.2, that makes sense. Looks like the right thing's happening. So then I'm asking you to test it. So make sure you're not on a white background. When you click the green flag, does it clear out the list and reset the timer and clear out the average? Yep, it does. Every time it touches Does it look, here's a good sample. 2 and 4, the average of 2 and 4 is 3. Forget the decimals. 2 plus 4 divided by 2 is 3. So yeah, it looks like it's doing the right calculations. And then I ask you to reset it and to make sure again, just look at the numbers. So we got 2 and 5. They add up to 7. So we should be around 3.5 for the average. Yeah, we are, más o menos. All right, when it's all working, then turn in a share link. That's it.